This has been a nightmare to make, and I'm saying this right now, looking you guys dead in the eyes. I do a lot for this podcast, and you might have noticed the location change. That is because when I went to go record in the office, my dad came out, and it is his office, so obviously, I left. He had stuff to do in there, and I set up this whole thing. And I like the aesthetic. I like this setup a whole lot. The only issue is, this is inside my house. I have 6 siblings. They can be hecka loud sometimes. And I'm hoping throughout this podcast episode it's not too bad, because if it is, I might actually cry. I will maybe play the video I took of me doing a little adventure deleting storage out of my mom's laptop. Hey guys, what's up? It's me. Your favorite podcaster, I hope. I'm literally on the ground right now. This is the little adventure I am having before you guys are actually watching the episode. Because I need to clear out storage. I'm using my mom's laptop to record this. And she had her storage on life support, dude. Life support. We have 10 gigabytes free now. It was at 4. So we're halfway there. I'm trying to get 20 gigabytes free. Yeah. This might be at the outro of the podcast episode. I don't know. Yeah, here's me sitting on my floor, contemplating my life decision. You guys are the best. And I can show you what the setup looks like currently. Alright, here's the setup we got going right now. We have microphone, we got the camera, and right down there is the laptop that we are using to record all of this audio as of right now. But yeah, I had a little adventure. I spent about an hour clearing a bunch of storage, only to manage to delete enough where there was only be 11 gigabytes of storage free, which sounds like a lot. So currently I'm using my S22 to record the footage you're seeing right now. I really like the S22. So that took a while. And now we are here. So when I was thinking about ideas to do or things to say, I actually texted a friend group of mine with some friends who watch the podcast, some who probably don't. Any of my friends that watch the podcast, I greatly appreciate you. I don't know how you sit down here and watch me yap, but it's appreciated. I got some good suggestions, wrote it down in the podcast episode's notes that I actually have now. One thing cracked me up though. One of my friends, Kaylee, she was saying, you should talk about me. She was dead set. Talk about me, talk about me, talk about me, talk about me. And since I had no other ideas, for today, I decided that's what we're going to do. We're just going to sit here and we're going to talk about my friend Kaylee. So without any further ado, I'm going to talk about my friend Kaylee. Okay. So Kaylee, she's a friend of mine. And she's a girl. Alright, thank you for watching this podcast episode. Make sure you guys tune in next time where I'm going to be discussing... Yeah, we're not doing that. Moving forward, we're at 49 followers. We have stagnated at 49 followers. It has been at 49 followers for so long. Please, for the love of someone, ask your friend to follow my podcast so we can get to 50 followers. And then we can finally do another Q&A. I've been waiting forever to do another Q&A. And last Q&A, I only got 2 questions. Hopefully this time we can get enough where we can do a full-length podcast answering some of your questions. Greatly appreciate it. And go ahead and ask more than one. As long as they're appropriate, we are 100% good. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get into some of these childhood stories. I'm going to start off with the first story that I remember that's interesting. Back in preschool, I live in a small town, so the preschool here is pretty small. And I'm going to take a little bit of a second to yap about preschools, or not preschools, but preschool in general. I think preschool is kind of dumb and unnecessary, and I know some of you might be like, what are you talking about? Preschool is part of the educational system. Are you here challenging the educational system? First of all, yes, I can get into that in a later podcast episode. I don't really want to get into stuff like that because that is kind of... But I feel like preschool, most people can agree, is not necessary. Really, all you do in preschool is you go and you get babysat by a bunch of adults that don't want to be there, or some that do, and they maybe teach you how to spell your name, maybe teach you how to sing the ABCs. I had a horrible preschool teacher. We're going to put quotation marks there because she didn't really teach us anything. Basically, in this small town, we were taken to this preschool with this old grumpy lady that hated her job, hated her life. She did not want to be there, and she took it out on a lot of the students. Not physically, but definitely a little bit emotionally. And I was, of course, a young lad. So I might be, you know, seeing this old lady that was going through some rough times and a little bit more harsh as someone who was evil and liked to yell and stuff like that. And honestly, she's probably dead. So if she's watching this from heaven or... Yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet now. Anyways, this lady hated the fact that she was a preschool teacher. And she hated every student except one student. She kind of liked this student. I think I talked about this later, actually, in my school stories episode, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating this. And she hated the fact that I would suck my finger. She would yell at me whenever I sucked my finger. I used to suck my pointer finger. Random Isaac trivia. I used to do that a lot. It was something I did, I think, since I was like 2, all the way till maybe like 1st grade is when I stopped. So I did that. Honestly, school really helped me stop sucking my finger, because I would go to school and I was like, I can't be sucking my finger here. So throughout the whole school day, no sucking my finger. And eventually, after school day passed, I stopped. I stopped sucking my finger. And it was great. And I loved it. And I stopped. I only went to school until up to 2nd or 3rd grade, I believe. And then I started homeschooling. I talk about all of this in my school stories episode. So if you want to hear more about school stories from me, make sure you go check out those 2 episodes. I think there were 2 of them where I talk about it. But this lady just hated the fact that I sucked my finger, and she would yell at me. And I did not like that. And I was like, stop it. Yeah, that's basically the first story. Prelude to some longer stories that are going to be more interesting, I hope. Next story. This takes place, I don't remember how old I was, but me and my sister were dead set on poisoning our dad. For whatever reason, we wanted to poison our dad's food and have him die or something. I don't know. We like to watch our dad suffer after we poisoned his food with whatever thing we put in it, whether it be spicy stuff, disgusting stuff. We tried to poison our dad. The first instance I remember of this happening was after me and my sister watched the show. The first instance I remember us trying to poison our dad was after me and my sister had watched the show The Little Rascals. It's a good show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Yeah, I loved that show as a kid so much. But there's this one scene where one of the main characters is trying to win back the love of his life by singing her a song. I took some notes on that and it worked. I recommend singing to the love of your life. It's a great strategy. This main character is trying to win back the love of his life because he messed up. You know, we all do that. That's how it goes. We all mess up. We all fumble the love of our life. That happens all the time. But the current boyfriend of his old lover is not too pleased with this plan, as I assume any current boyfriend would be, and he decides to sabotage his attempts to win back her heart by putting soap in his water. The kid takes the water, he takes a big sip of it, and he goes up to sing, and when he opens his mouth and starts singing, bubbles come out of his mouth. Like one of those toy bubble machines that we all loved as a kid. Comes out of his mouth in a stream, and me and my sister sat there watching that, and we went, holy freaking moly, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. We gotta try that. So instead of us trying it on ourselves, which would be dumb, obviously, why the freak would we try that on ourselves? We decided we were going to try it on our dad. And we were going to play a prank on him by making him... Because you know how funny it would be to give dad some water and he takes a big drink and he's like, oh, that water was so good. And bubbles start coming out. That would be the most funniest thing in the world. So we did that. We put some soap in some water and we went up to my dad's office, which currently used to be the room right now that I'm in, which is now my current bedroom. And he was there. We come up to him with this glass of water and we're like, here, Dad, here's some water for you. And he's like, oh, thanks. A little taken back that we randomly gave him some water. And then we give him this water, and we sit back and we start chuckling to ourselves. We're snickering. My dad knows something is up because why the heck would... Like, could you imagine you're sitting there, your kids bring you some water, and you're like, oh, thank you, kids, for bringing me this water. You look at it, it looks a little funny, and then your kids start chuckling. So my dad immediately was like, okay, what's going on here? Why are y'all laughing so hard? We immediately folded. We're like, oh, dang it, you caught us. Gosh darn it. Why am I yelling so much? So we fess up. We're like, yeah, that water is infused with soap because we wanted to see bubbles come out of your mouth. And I honestly don't know the side effects of drinking water with soap in it. Hey Google, what's the side effects of drinking water with soap in it?
According to Poison Control, drinking dish soap water or dish soap alone will usually result in minor effects. A person may experience nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea after drinking a small amount. Serious effects are less likely to occur when drinking dish soap water since the soap is diluted.
Okay, so we were just trying to make our dad nauseous, throw up, and have diarrhea. Kids of the year right there. What is going on? Our dad is just like sitting there like just chuckling to himself. He's like, are you guys trying to give me diarrhea? Like, why did you do this? And he kind of explained that that was a movie and that's not how the real world works, and my hopes and dreams were crushed for all time and eternity. It was tragic. But I'll survive. I did, clearly. That was to say, this kind of leads into the next story where me and my sister made an attempt to poison our dad. Well, not really poison him. And it backfired on me severely. So our neighbor, Miss Barb, had recently gotten a bunch of jalapeno peppers. She had grown them in her garden. They came in ripe, and she was like, I don't need these many. And she gave us some of her jalapeno peppers, which was super nice. Now, I knew jalapeno peppers were spicy because, for one, Miss Barb said they were, and my mom said they were. And for two, they're jalapeno peppers. Who in the world is not aware of the fact that jalapeno peppers are spicy? What? Someone help me. So me and my sister were like, we're going to put these jalapeno peppers in our dad's food and he's going to eat them. Mind you, they were whole jalapeno peppers. We thought we could just throw them on there. He wouldn't notice, he'd take a big bite and scream and cry and be like, oh my gosh, ah! And we'd laugh hysterically because we were evil demon children. And for some reason, we just wanted to see our dad suffer. I don't know why. We just did. My nose is actually killing me. It's not even funny. I keep yawning. So, whole jalapeno pepper, mind you, on our dad's food, and our dad comes down. Of course, me and my sister are horrible. We start chuckling, and my dad immediately knows. He's like, oh my gosh, you guys, didn't even try this stuff. I can see the jalapeno pepper, because in the past, we had actually put spicy stuff in his food. We put chili powder, which isn't even that spicy. We put cayenne pepper powder, which actually is decently spicy, and we put red pepper flakes, which really isn't even spicy at all. So my dad would eat these foods and go, oh my gosh, it's so spicy, ah. And we'd laugh hysterically, because we were evil little demon children that wanted to see my dad suffer for some reason. Why do I keep yawning? Is it funny? I have at least made one person watching this yawn, and I'm so sorry for that. So my dad makes us a deal. He says, you know what? I will take a bite of a jalapeno pepper if you take a bite, Isaac, and you take a bite, Rose. And so, you know, me being someone who tends to not really think things through, tends to just go for it, tends to be someone who's like, oh yeah, I will do that 100% to get what I want, or just because it's fun. I was just like, bet. Took the jalapeno pepper, took a bite. I was like, this crap isn't even spicy. Like, what the frick? I turned to Rose. I was like, Rose, it's not even spicy. Take a bite. My sister, Rose, more timid. She was like, well, I don't know. I don't want to take a bite. I don't want to, you know, have it be spicy. And what is happening? And so I'm like, oh my goodness. Fine, I will pull the weight for both of us. I will take 2 bites. Generously do so. Show you there's nothing to worry about. And then Dad will take a bite of this jalapeno pepper, which I have convinced you isn't spicy at all. And he will scream like a little baby because that's what we wanted to see, because we were little demon children that wanted to watch it and suffer for some reason. I go for a second bite, take a big bite out of it. I'm like, it's not spicy. Interesting fact about jalapeno peppers, and I think a decent amount of peppers too. A lot of the spice actually comes from the seeds of the pepper. I was soon about to learn that. I got a big bite with seeds and the actual jalapeno pepper itself. When I first took a bite, it was out of the tip, so I just got mostly pepper, no seeds, nothing like that. It wasn't even spicy. But the second bite, holy moly, dude, that was probably the spiciest thing I had ever ate up until that point. I started flipping out. I was screaming. I started licking the table leg. It was so spicy. I was panicking. I literally was screaming. I was like, ah! I'm licking the table leg, and my father, suppressing as much laughter as he can, is like, oh my gosh, are you okay? He gets milk and water and ice, all of the above to help reduce the fire that is inside of my mouth. And my dad kept his side of the bargain. He took a bite of the jalapeno pepper, and he pretended to be as in much pain as I was, and I laughed hysterically like a little evil demon child, and so did my sister Rose, because we were little evil demon children that wanted to watch our dad suffer. And we kind of got what we wanted, but I had to pay the price of suffering as well. Next story. So I don't remember how old I was. I probably was younger than, this was probably like a year or two before the whole spicy jalapeno pepper incident. I have a cousin who is one of my best friends in the world. His name is Enoch. And when we were younger, he and his family would come down to our house occasionally. They didn't live too far away, so it tended to be a lot more often than what I seem to remember it being. Water break while there's a lot of background noise. So as I was saying, try to ignore some of the background noise. It should reduce over time. He says as the background noise increases. What is going on? So my cousin Enoch, he comes over. I think roughly we were 5, maybe. I don't know the exact age. So this is just a gander as to what it could have been. And we were hanging out. And I had come up with a genius new game idea prior for him coming up. And this game, it might be kind of hard for you guys to understand and to grasp. I will do my best to kind of break down the game as simply as I can because it is kind of a complex game. But when I was 5-ish, roughly, I came up with this game called Punch Windows. It's a very complex game. You'll never guess what you do in it. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, you just punch windows. You're a lot smarter than what I thought. You understand the game, and Enoch loved it. He was like, heck yes, let's play Punch Windows, and let's punch some freaking windows. So we went around and we just started punching windows. And it was fun for the first 10 minutes. But then my cousin Enoch really got into the game, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna actually like start running at these windows, putting a lot of force and effort into these punches. I was watching, I was going, dang son, that's a nasty left hook you got. So he's going after these windows. I'm like, take that window down, take it down. He took the window down, and the window almost took him down. He goes full force for this window, and he brings out his palms like this, and he slams into the window, and the window caves. It completely shatters. It's done from this abuse, and it has a breakdown, and it breaks quite literally. And it cuts his wrist. A big shard of glass cuts his wrist, and Enoch's like, my mom comes in, and she's like, oh my gosh, what did I just walk into? My nephew just freaking ran into a window. Yeah, he had to go to the doctors, get that taken care of, and yeah, it worked out pretty well. He has this humongous scar on his wrist, so if you ever run into my cousin Enoch, and you want to see the scar, ask him to show you. He will 100% blame me. I blame him. He should not have ran that hard at the window. He should have just not listened to me in the first place. Next story. So, this one is how I became Batman. You don't think I'm Batman? You are questioning me being Batman right now? It's ridiculous. I am Batman. I'm quite literally Batman. This is my origin story that I'm going to be telling you. I'm a little under the weather, so that's why my voice sounds a little... It sounds a little janky. Yeah, so... Batman's real identity is actually... It's awesome, man, dude. Yeah, I'm Batman. I fight crime. You think I got these muscles from being an animator? No. It's from fighting bad guys and then curling their limp bodies. Cause I'm broke, Batman. I don't have a gym. If you want to donate to my GoFundMe, I'm gonna tell the rest of the story like this. You cannot stop me, cause this involves bats. When we first moved into this house, it had a bat infestation. You know, do you have ever dreamed that you've had that you could it had a bat infestation? It had a lot of bats in it. It had a bat problem. So when I was a little squirt, just a little wee lad, I remember in my sister's room, there was a door that led to my parents' bathroom and from the bathroom into my parents' room. Since then, the door has been taken down and we have covered it with drywall. So now there's no door there. That door is not really important. It's just a random tidbit. So I was sleeping in my sister's room and me and my sister were sleeping in the same room at the time. I remember waking up pitch black, middle of the night. I was tired as heck. I get up and I start going towards the bathroom because, you know, I had to go pee. So I don't go to the parents' room, at least to the parents' bathroom. Because at the time, I don't even remember if there was a bathroom there. I don't know if there was. I don't think there was. There might have not been. So I got up to go to the bathroom, and I opened the door, and there was a bat, apparently, perched on the top of the door and hanging over the door, so that when I opened the door, it knocked the bat's head. Which, first of all, bat, are you dumb? Why would you rest your head there? Like, literally, that's a moving door. Like, I can't feel bad for you. It's like people who stand directly in front of doors. There's been a few times at church where I've opened the door and hit someone, and I'm like, why were you standing right in front of the door? Don't chill in front of doors. Don't chill in front of doors. That's not smart. So I swing open the door, I hit the bat. The bat's pissed. It goes, what the freak, dude? And it goes down, and it bites me. I've been bitten by a bat before. So I go to my parents' room. I'm scared to go through that door. So I go around, go to the other door, go into my parents' room. I'm like, I got bit by a bat. And my mom's like, yeah, right. I'm like, oh, I really did. All I remember past that point was I had to go and get checked for rabies, which I did not have, thankfully. That would have sucked if I had rabies. Not only have I been bitten by a bat, but I've also been stung by a jellyfish. Elaborate more, you say? I will after this next story. And yeah, we're done with the Batman fit. If you want the Batman fit back, please comment Batman fit back, please. And I might bring back the Batman fit. How's my hair? Oh, why don't you guys say anything? Gosh dang. I thought we were friends. This story also involves a window, which now you might be saying, Isaac, why didn't you do the window story? This story after the window story, and then the bat story, and then jellyfish story. That would have made a ton more sense. Don't judge how I run this podcast, mister. Now go to your room and come back when you have a better attitude. When I was of the age, I don't remember how old I was. Just know I was young enough where I didn't know how to peel an orange, but not that young. I think I was like 7. It's kind of sad I didn't know how to peel an orange at 7. When I was 7, I go to ask my mom to peel an orange for me because I couldn't do it. And my mom was cooking, so she was like, listen, I'm doing dinner right now. I can peel it in a second. So I, being a bored little kid, wandered into my living room where my sister was just chilling on the couch. And our living room and our dining room have these big glass windows. Right underneath in the living room, there was this basket, empty basket, and I, holding an orange, decided to shoot some hoops. I think we put toys and stuff in there, but for whatever reason that day it was empty. So I started throwing that orange and it goes into the basket. It goes into the basket. So then my dumb ass came up with some dumb logic. I looked at the window that was right above the basket and I did some physics in my brain. I'm like, if I hit that window, the orange will bounce off the window and land into the basket. I am a genius. So I throw the orange with my skinny, scrawny 7-year-old arm. I throw it maybe a little too hard, I'll say. And it breaks the window. Just like a hole in the window. I'm panicking. My sister's sitting there like, I'm like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. I was so convinced I was dead. And of course my sister wasn't not gonna say anything. There's a hole in the window. It's the middle of winter. They're gonna know. And I'm gonna be like, oh, it's awfully chilly in here. And yeah, like there's a bunch of snow inside the house for some reason right underneath that window. That is strange. No, they knew. They would know, 100%. Yeah, so my parents, after hearing the loud crash, come in, they see the window, and I start immediately begging for forgiveness. I'm like, please don't help me out with it. Well, of course, they want to know what happened, and I explain, and then they're just like, why did you throw an orange out our window? Yeah, so long story short, I helped pay to get the window replaced. Not obviously the full price, but I helped, and yeah. Alright, last story of tonight, guys. Tonight. Yeah, I'll probably be tonight when I finally upload this. But last story of today, it is how I was stung by a jellyfish. I was a little older when this happened. I think 11 or maybe not. I was actually 10. Where the freak does the time go? That went by so quickly. We were in a beach in Virginia. Because, you know, Virginia has beaches. You didn't have to cut me off. This is funny. I don't remember exactly what beach it was, but I just remember we stopped there, swimming around, having fun, you know, enjoying time with my mom and my family. And my mom said, Isaac, don't go out past a certain length of the water. She was just saying that, and me being, you know, 10, I'm a big kid now, I was like, what is she talking about? I'm just gonna wander off to the water. So that's what I did. I just completely ignored my mom, and I got out pretty far, and then all of a sudden, I feel something brush up against my leg. Something just brushes up against my leg, and I'm like, what the heck? I look down, and I see what looks like a brown sock, and I'm like, that's weird. What? Weird brown sock. The brown sock kind of just like floated away in a strange way, like it kind of just disappeared. And then my brain started thinking, and I was like, what if that was a jellyfish? So I go back, and I'm like, Mom? She's like, yeah. I was like, I think I got stung by a jellyfish. She didn't believe me. I'm like, there's no way. If you got stung by a jellyfish right now, you'd be panicking, you'd be screaming, you'd be crying. She thought I was lying. And I was like, okay, I guess, I don't know. So we started walking towards the car. All of a sudden, I'm trying to remember, I think it was my arm. It was either my arm or my leg. I start feeling this shooting pain. I'm pretty sure it's my arm. In my arm. I'm like, Mom, my arm hurts. And she looks at it and it's red in this one patch. And she starts panicking. She's like, oh my gosh, he got stung by a jellyfish. So she's panicking. She takes me to the lifeguard. And the lifeguard, she's like, oh my gosh, my son got stung by a jellyfish. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And the lifeguard's just totally just sitting there, like totally lax. She's like, put some wet sand on it and wash it off, lady. And my mom's kind of pissed off that the guy didn't do anything, but she's like, okay, whatever, we'll do that. Put some wet sand on it and washed it off, and for whatever reason, that worked. Whatever reason, the pain in my arm subsided, and it was done, and it was over with, and it was a relief. And I was like, holy moly, I can't believe that worked. All right, I have to send my potential prom fit to my prom date. I got asked out to prom. It's kind of a funny story. I'm not sharing it today. I'm gonna go to the prom, and maybe that will be the next podcast episode. But I'm gonna change that fit, and then I want you guys to rank this potential prom fit. All right, grand reveal. This tie, I tied a little goofy, but it's okay. All right, looking sharp as a tack is what I'm hoping you said. Oh my gosh, I look so goofy, bro. I'm gonna retie my tie actually, because I feel like this is a little bit long. There we go. That might actually be perfect. Oh my gosh. Thank you for tuning in today for another great podcast episode. If you really did like this location, I can try to record on days when it won't be as loud. This could be maybe the permanent location if you guys really enjoyed the setup and the feel and the aesthetic. And if you really liked me recording on the Samsung S22, let me know and I might record further videos like this. But that's all I got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. And I'm gonna go edit this, hopefully, in a timely manner. Alright, love you guys, and peace out.